Good morning. Good morning. There you are. Right, what have we got for you today? Well, first of all, the weather is a bit cloudy. It's definitely cooler than it was. And we're waiting for it to get even more cool over the weekend. So we had glorious weather in February, as Mike was saying, but it's definitely slightly wintry at the moment. So what have we got for you today? News-wise, well, the first thing is, although we are technically out of the EU, the environmental permitting regs are changing in July this year for the EU, and the UK is also bringing in some of those changes as well. So I have got an excellent article from Alkali Environmental explaining some of the changes as they affect us here in GB. I think one of the biggest things coming in is under the IED and Industrial Emissions Directorate. That is because their emission limits are reducing. So if you emit certain things to air, you're going to have to meet those lower BAT thresholds. And that's definitely being brought in here in GB. Not only that, it's been on the radar for a couple of years because I did a permit variation 2 years ago, and we were told at the time, no, you've got to meet these new standards. They're being brought in, but we're going to include them in GB as well. And also we've been looking at a permit transfer, which may turn into an application. It's very complicated. And if there is a reapplication, then we've been told, no, you must use these new BAT standards. Otherwise, you'll just have to reapply the following year. So if you hold a permit and you don't meet these BAT AELs, emissions to air standards that are coming in, you are definitely going to have to vary to meet them. So quite what that means for the permitting queue, National Permitting Service, who appear to work on their own timescale, which makes a tortoise look fast, is another matter. But just if you hold a permit or you're about to apply for one or about to vary one, then this is likely to affect you if you are an installation, clearly, and you are emitting to air. It's not every single air pollutant that's covered, it's just some of the major ones, but well worth reading that article from Alkali. Right, so that's the UK thing, although it does cover EU as well, to a certain extent. The next thing is, what have we got for the EU itself? Well, one of these annoying topics that covers just about every business you can think of, EUDR. So EUDR is all about save the rainforest and stuff like that. It's about making sure that the deforestation is not happening on things that are brought into the EU. What it means in practice is that they've done this regulation. They've said, well, we're going to bring in, like beef and cocoa and anything that might affect the rainforest or forestry in general. They brought paper in. So now every country in the world is potentially on the blacklist for EUDR. And you're thinking, oh, plus it was extremely complicated. Well, the good news is that they are not going to reopen it. There were concerns that it was going to be incredibly, sort of made even more complex. There has been a certain amount of simplification, but they have finally said, no, you're okay as you were. Just, we're not going to reopen it. So it is, EUDR is not being reopened, which hopefully is good news, although, like I say, it has been incredibly complex just going there. And it can affect companies who don't think they're doing anything that would come under it, because if you're sending things out on wooden pallets, wood's included. Geez. Anyway, hopefully that is good news and I have interpreted it correctly. And if I haven't, I'm sure my lovely viewers or readers of the newsletter will let me know. Speaking of the weekly newsletter, there's an awful lot of stuff that can't go into this kind of video. I will pop the link here just now. And it's if you sign up on the website, you get access to all of the historic stuff, including all of our recipes. Yeah, I was speaking to a girl this week who was looking for a bit of career support. I don't know if advice is the right word. She just needed a bit of cheering up and a bit of boosting. So hopefully I managed to do that. And she was like, I'm reading all this technical stuff, and then there's like this recipe at the end. What on earth is going on? And I had to explain that's because this video, the newsletter, was originally daily during lockdown, and every Friday we did a recipe to keep everybody going. Yes, but yes, it's a magazine newsletter. It's not meant all to be serious. And that's why we have things like Reasons to be Cheerful videos as well. Anyway, I digress. No, I do not digress, because that takes us nicely on to Reasons to be Cheerful. We're doing Countdown at the moment, a series of countdown funny videos, the quiz show in afternoon television in the UK, my lad, for anyone who doesn't already know it. And this one is a very genteel definition from Susie Dent of a rather rude slang word, which I will pop below there. You might not want to watch that if you are easily offended, but otherwise it's very amusing. So that's just about it for me for today. However, before I head off, I've got to remind you, we're nearly at Chem UK. Is it 12 days or something like that? It's the 8th today, so 20th of May at the NEC. I will, of course, be there with the Chemical Regulation Self-Help Group. And I am just going to pop the link to their website, because it is, of course, free to attend. What I love about Chem UK is it's just such a social event. It's a great place to go and meet people. Not in the, we're networking and handing over business cards kind of stuff. No, it's just a great place to catch up. And I know that many viewers of this video, readers of the newsletter, come up because they have in previous years and said hello, and that's really nice. So I will be there, stand H160 with the self-help group, and it would be lovely to see you there if you can make it. Right, that's it for me today. I hope you have a lovely, lovely weekend, because we've all been working, trying to cram 5 days work into 4 days, haven't we, this week? But I hope you have a lovely weekend, and I hope to be able to chat to you again next week. Take care of yourselves. Bye.